Good morning everyone and welcome back to the channel. Thank you to all the new subscribers. We've gotten a ton lately. So just want to say thank you to you guys. And for anybody that's not subscribed yet, consider hitting that subscribe button down below. You see, the main cost of farming, ranching, homesteading, whatever you want to call it, is the land prices. And here where we are in East Texas, land goes for about $4,000 to $6,000 an acre, depending on where you're at and kind of what's on it, wooded, pasture, kind of, variables. But what we've done is we've essentially bought land for about $25 an acre. And I'm going to show you how we've done that. Here in our area, the average stocking density is about 3 to 4 acres per cow. So on our 30 acres, that would mean that we can have at most about 10 cows. But right now, let me show you this. We currently have 7. We currently have 7 here on our 30 acres, which is somewhat close to 10. But say we rounded that up to 10 and then doubled it, okay? We still have more than enough grass for all of them. And why is that? A couple reasons. One, the main one, is because we move the cows every day. And the way that we've been able to do that is with a couple tools. And here they are right here. We have electric fence, T-post, and a water line for our water source. So wherever the cows are on this farm here, they can have grass, water, and we can control where they're at. You see, the way grass grows is kind of like on an S curve. You graze it down too far, it takes a lot of time and it takes a lot of momentum for it to grow back. If you let it get too long, then it goes to seed and it stops growing. So the most efficient way for us to graze is to keep it in this middle stage right here, in its growth stage. And because we move the cows every day, they're not able to take the grass down all the way down to the nubs or the roots. And that's what lets it stay in this growth stage the entire time, which means that we can produce much more grass. What that also allows us to do is keep the cows away from here and too close to the ground to where the parasites like to hang out and live. When they graze the top third of the plant, they leave the bottom 2/3. Parasites aren't around, they're really not a problem. And when we worm them with basic H soap. We don't have to be putting stuff into them. You can see this is where the cows were yesterday. And look, you can see in my boot, that's not taken down all the way to the ground. There's our lane area that we mow so we can walk out here and don't have to worry about chiggers and whatever not. Here, this grass, you can see it. It's still probably 8 to 10 inches tall. Why? Because even though this is the grass that the cows like, this is some Bahia, some Bermuda grass here, this is what they love, they don't have a chance to take it all the way down to the ground. Why? Because we move them off of it every day. So because we're able to keep the grass in that growth stage, we've at least been able to double production here. So if we're able to double production with the infrastructure I showed you of electric fence, water line, and T-post, that comes out to be about $25 an acre. So essentially, if we're able to double production with an infrastructure cost of $25 an acre, then we've essentially bought land for $25 an acre. And that right there gives us so many advantages. One, it keeps the cows healthier and eating better because they're eating just the top third of the plant. Secondly, once we get more cows, they're going to be able to do some trampling and they'll be able to trample the weeds down, and even more desirable species of grass will be able to grow up because they like to grow faster than weeds. And it also allows us to get the most out of our land. See, we buy it, we pay taxes on it, why not get the most out of it? And if we can come out here and move this electric fence every day, which takes really no time at all, and then in the future, check this out. What we're going to do, see, right now we have the portable electric fence post going all the way down, and we move this every day and just kind of jump it over. Okay, tomorrow's paddock's already set up over there, and then the next day is just going to be just beyond that. What we're going to end up doing is coming in here with T-post and putting in more of a permanent style paddock to where we can just come here, open up a gate handle, which would be right here. The cows walk on through and they're good. And then in the wintertime, when we want to slow them up a little bit, when the grass isn't growing as much or not at all, we're able to section it off with the portable fence into thirds, fourths, maybe even fifths, depending on the size of the paddock that they're in. But the biggest advantage that this gives us when in the future that we're looking to expand is that this land is worth more to us than anybody else. You see, if there's a piece of property that we really want, we can bid probably just a little bit higher than the next guy because he can run only 3 to 4 cows an acre. We can run, hopefully in the next 5 to 7 years, we can quadruple production. We can run 1 cow an acre. But right now, we can at least double his production with 1 cow every 1.5 to 2 acres for sure. And that little bit extra, not a lot extra, we're not gonna go crazy and pay double for the land just because we can put double production on it. We can probably pay just a little bit more. And that little bit can make a whole world of difference, whether it's buying the land, leasing the land, whatever. Why? Because we can do more with it than the average rancher or farmer, whatever you want to call it, because of how we utilize it. And that's really important. And most importantly, the cows, man, that's a good looking cow right there, are happy because they get to eat fresh grass every single day, and also very clean water every single day. Why? Because they're not drinking out of a pond. They're not in the pond getting hoof rot or whatever. They're out here grazing where they're supposed to be, eating the best grasses they possibly can, and they just look happy. This lane system that we've built here has worked out beautifully, and we're actually going to be able to do even more with it. We're going to keep this lane here mowed down to where we can walk out here whenever we want, go for a walk, go for a run, whatever. But what we're also going to do is use this lane. We're going to plant fruit and nut trees and plant a permaculture style orchard all throughout here on both sides of the fence. And that's going to have a big time dual purpose. One, we can produce more food on the land. Cool. Two, the lane keeps the cows from munching on the trees, which we don't want, especially in the early stages. And three, once the trees grow up, especially on the north side, they're going to be able to provide a shade cover to the cows for when it gets real hot here in Texas. So for an infrastructure cost of $25 an acre, we can have all this, we can make the cows really happy. I think everybody should be doing it. This way of doing things was inspired by Joel Salatin of Polyface Farms. And in his teachings, he says that if every farmer farmed this way and did moving the cows every day, mob grazing, blitz grazing, rotational grazing, whatever you want to call it, we could sequester all the carbon that's been emitted into the atmosphere in fewer than 10 years. Now that's cool and all, but I think it's just cool to double production here. And you know what? In 4, 5, 6, 7 years, I think we can actually quadruple it. And if that were to happen, we could essentially say we bought land for $7 and change an acre, which is stupid. And again, the cows, they're out here eating the top third of the plant. All their manure was left here yesterday. They're not eating next to it. The parasites aren't there. You see, in farming and in life, you have to be able to use every advantage that you possibly can. And you know what? I don't care who you are, you all have an advantage. Some people get the advantage of inheriting land where they don't have to pay for it. We didn't have that luxury here, so what we had to do is we have to create our own advantages and be able to produce more so we can be able to buy more. And so we're able to earn more. One of the advantages that we had here is that there's 3 wells on the property. One of them is currently in use, and that's the one that we have the water line hooked up to. Eventually, I'd like to get the other, at least one other one going to where we can use that as a backup. We have 2 ponds here. You gotta find your advantages. One of the advantages here, we came to pretty decent soil. Another advantage that we have is that my skill set is marketing, and I can market and sell just about anything, especially if I believe in it. So instead of going and taking these cows and taking them to auction and paying, you know, commodity prices, we're gonna sell direct to consumer because using my skills, we're able to reach people looking for grass-fed, grass-finished beef, especially longhorn beef, which is healthier, by the way. So use every advantage that you can, and with us, hey, if we can buy land, double production in the first year for $25 an acre, and in the next 6, 7, 8 years have it be $7 an acre, you know what? I'm gonna use that all day long, and I think you should too. So with that, consider hitting that subscribe button down below, ring the notification bell so you get notified when we put up new videos, hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm because it really likes it, and drop a comment if you like, all right? Until then, we'll see you on the next one. Thanks, bye. Come on, cows, cows, come on. Come on, cows. Come on, cows, cows, come on. Good job, Ellie. Come on, cows.